of those mistakes.
Yeah.
When God loves that person for his and her mistake, nobody's going to be perfect.
I think that's a really great mystery almost of marriage, to begin to not only see this person that you're with through the lens of God, but love the person that you're with through the lens of God.
100% true.
And that's a journey.
Oh, I asked it somebody and I said, it was, it's my wife. It wasn't, it wasn't a good moment that day because, me and Lovy, we talk too much.
Yeah.
So if we do church, we don't finish till tomorrow.
Right.
You know Lovy, right?
Right.
You know your father, right? If he starts teaching right here, he's not going to finish, right? So I said to my wife, I know I'm supposed to go there, but I'm going to do a quick service, 1 hour on stage. I remember 3 hours later, whoo. So when I called her to explain, the first thing she asked is, do you love me? I said, I love everybody. Then she asked me, do you know everybody? Then I became stuck.
Mama's a smart woman.
Of course, I married an angel, so when I went back to her, she wasn't like, everything is fine, because she already accepted that this man, when he said 1 hour, he doesn't mean 1 hour.
He means 3.
It means 5 hours max.
Right, or minimum.
So it's another blessing when you know who you are with.
Yes.
You don't want to be told about your husband by any other person. I don't know if it makes sense.
That's so true.
That's why some of you, if someone says, I'm a girlfriend, you want to talk to that person. Well, what was he saying to you? Because you want to know him through somebody. It's not going to work. You should know your man. You should know your woman. You should know your person by yourself. To the extent that if something happens, you don't care. You already know your person. If somebody are trying to say, oh, she gossiped about her or she was rough to people, you don't have to come and complain. Why are you being rough to people? You should ask, why are you being yourself to these people? Sorry, I talk too much.
I think you're helping. So we had a question come in. It was a woman. She has 2 kids with her partner. They are not married. They've been together for 10 years. And they love each other and they're committed to each other. But she wants to know, is she living in sin, not being married to this man that she has 2 children with?
That's no love. There's no love like that. There's no love like that. He who finds a virtuous
woman,
for her price is far above. So if I don't put a price and if I don't pay the price,
right,
you are not a virtuous woman to me.
They call each other husband and wife, but they're not married.
Yeah, because the man is sharp, he's clean. He's playing her.
Yeah, like a
fiddle. If he loves you, he has to put a ring on it.
Right.
Never allow anybody to fool you. Because the easiest way to enjoy a woman is to use the word love. Oh, but he said he loves me. He doesn't have to say it, you have to see it. You have to see it. It's not only about finding a virtuous woman.
Right.
Because number one, she's not easy to find. I think the revelation should be, what is a virtuous woman? A virtuous woman simply means my extension.
Right.
It means my female version, the other me. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's not easy to find someone like me. What I do, she can do. What I think is how she thinks. If I'm a liar, I need to marry a liar. That's a virtuous woman for me. My virtuous woman is not your virtuous woman, because it's simply the extension of me. I don't want to be a liar and I'm merely someone who says the truth, because she's going to embarrass me in front of everybody. Oh, yesterday me and my wife, when we went for dinner, like, what are you talking about? We were not home yet. I don't know if you understand. If you are a deceitful man, you need a deceitful woman. Right? Because virtuous woman means the extension of you. The female version of you. So it's not going to be easy to find somebody like you. Lastly, virtuous woman means somebody in your level. If you marry somebody who is not in your level, you are still single. If you marry someone who is not in your level, you are still lonely. Because when you want to talk to him, the way he answers, you're like, what are you talking about? Because you are not in the same level. I don't know if you understand. But even if she is difficult to find, one of a kind, because she's one of a kind, her prices go up, because if the supply is limited and the demand is high, the prices go up. So if her price is up, she is far above rubies. So one thing is, are you able to find her? But if you find her, are you able to afford her? Are you able to afford it? That's the major question. It's not easy to find. But if you find, can you afford it?
That's true.
Now, paying the price now, you don't only pay because you have money. Huh?
It's true.
It's money. It's character as well.
Yeah.
Do you have a character that keeps her? Because you can cheat anybody without value. And she'll be okay with that. Have you ever heard about women that bring another woman to enjoy, for the men to enjoy? Have you ever heard those women?
Yes.
Because she knows, I have no value. If he leaves me, nobody's going to be with me. So she will do any foolish thing to keep that man. But if you know your price, you know your value, you're not going to have all that nonsense in your house. I don't know if I make sense to somebody. So affording her is the main thing that keeps her. Many people, they go for higher price, but they don't have the money to pay for the price. They don't have the character to pay for the price. And the biggest character is, are you going to be loyal to that woman? The only thing that many people have to understand here is, I can never be something to somebody that I am not.
Right.
So I don't want to marry a man that I have to become something to be with. Or you don't want a man that you have to become something you want to be with. You need to be with somebody that you are already who you are to him, and he loves you the way you are.
That's good. Do you think, like, when it comes to purpose and husband, which one comes first for a woman?
Purpose and husband.
Like your assignment and your husband. If a woman feels like, I was put on this earth to do this, and my husband is keeping me, but I don't know, does my husband come first, or does my assignment from God come first?
No, it's different, because Eve came out of Adam. Meaning she's not only the extension of Adam in the level, she's not only the extension in the ability. She's the extension of the same vision.
Right.
We cannot have two visions, because two visions means division, and divisions means divorce. So I don't want to be with someone who's not in my vision.
Right.
And you don't want anyone who's not in your vision. So oftentimes God doesn't give vision to the woman. God gives vision to Adam. Then Adam expands the vision to the woman. I don't know if I make sense to people. So I would say, if you know your man is your Adam and you are coming out of that Adam, you don't bring any vision to Adam.
Yeah.
You take his vision and you make it visible. Because the power of a woman is to make things happen, right? The man brings the house, you make it a home. You don't want to say, I can't be with a man if I don't have my own house. That's a problem already there. I don't know if you understand. So I would say, find your man, understand his vision, and run with that vision.
Right.
If you carry your own vision, and you have to marry a man without a vision.
Right. That's really good.
If you have your own vision, marry a man without a vision. Because we can't have two visions.
No.
There are many men without vision out there. You can get those ones.
Totally.
But if you understand that my man has a greater vision,
right,
then you have to be with that man.
Right. But I think it's something like the visual that came to my mind, you know when you get like those huge Lego sets?
Yeah.
Like imagine somebody, you start as a woman and you start building the Lego set, and then you come into marriage and you think, now I have to abandon my Lego set because I have to start building his. When you don't know that that huge Lego set was part of the big picture, and you just reached the next step in that Lego set. Does that make sense?
Makes big sense. I'm not sure people understood you there. Because that's a breakthrough for everybody there. Because many people, they think, I should just do nothing.
Right.
And wait for the man.
Right.
Nobody wants somebody with nothing.
Nothing.
People want you with your value.
Right.
So your Lego set is your value. Right? And when it comes, it's coming to somebody who already have the experience. And you use that experience to perfect his world.
Yeah.
That's deep.
But some people even like think about even those small ones that like you could finish in 5 seconds, and then the ones that come with 60, 70, 80 bags, and you're like, I can't even move forward if I don't have these pieces.
Yeah.
So recognizing when you were coming into covenant with that man, God unlocked the pieces for you to continue.
And you
used to tell me something. You said submission is submitting your mission.
Yeah.
As it comes under.
Yeah.
It was always part, but it came under.
You already have a mission.
Yeah.
But you are now submitting it under his mission.
Yes.
So if you have no mission, why should I be with you?
Right. That's really good.
That's deep.
Yeah.
But I strongly believe that if you have a vision, marry somebody without a vision. But if you understand you are there to expand and make his vision better, then meet the man before you get your own assignment.
Right. Somebody asked, how do my husband and I determine what our purpose is as a couple?
As a couple? Say it in different English.
I think kind of what we were talking about already, that they're trying to decide, like, okay, I got married, what do we do together? Why are we together?
Yeah. There's always 3 lives in marriage. There is my own life, there is her own life, then there is our life. You understand? If we have our life, it's not going to work. We're going to chop each other, choke each other, drain each other's energy. I don't know if you understand. Because if we have our own life, that means I have to get rid of all my friends.